picked ones today. God wants to tell you something very important. If you're watching this, it's not by accident. Your life is known to God, and He wants you to stop doing what's holding you back. It's not just your actions, it's also your thoughts, your energy, and the decisions you're making right now. You've been praying, hoping, and waiting for breakthroughs, but you need to stop doing something before those blessings can fully come true. First, please pause this video for a moment. God sees everything and is ready to lead you to the next level of your mission. Press the like button. Please subscribe to help us hit 10,000 and leave a comment with the number 99. There will be a strong signal sent to the universe that will strengthen the message you are about to receive. If you are truly a chosen one, you will stay with me until the end because your spirit knows this message is for you. However, if you're not prepared to embrace the truth, you may not persevere. But for those of you who do, your life will never be the same. Let's begin. If you sense a calling in your soul, it's your divine calling urging you to rise and pursue your higher purpose. But too many of us ignore this calling because we're too busy with daily life or short-term wants. When you ignore your divine calling, you not only rob yourself of a life with meaning, but you also keep the light that is meant to shine brightly in the world from shining. It's time to stop running from your true path. Every second you wait, you miss the chance to align with your higher self and step into your divine mission. Your universe is ready to awaken, but you must stop resisting God's plan. God knows you are ready. He's been preparing you for this moment. Now is the time to stop turning away and walk boldly toward your destiny. Accept your divine calling and let God lead you to the life you were always meant to live. God knows the power that is within you. The energy you have isn't just for physical expression. It's a force that can either build or destroy, depending on how you direct it. Too many of us waste our energy on things that don't serve our higher purpose, like chasing temporary pleasures, giving in to temptations, or wasting time. But when you choose to direct your energy towards spiritual growth, you connect with God more deeply and your life changes. Changes in your energy don't mean you have to deny your wants. They mean you can control them. God knows that your real power comes from being able to direct your energy in ways that are in line with your higher calling. Spending self-disciplined time on spiritual growth or a cause bigger than yourself is like putting money into your future. God sees your work and respects your choice to follow the holy road of purpose. If you change the way you focus your energy, you can stop giving in to your urges and start living from a place of divine clarity. There is no temptation that can stop God's plan for you. If you trust the process and His timing, your life will change in ways you could never have imagined. Your chosen sexual energy is not just for physical pleasure, it is a divine gift, a sacred energy that can either lift your spirit spiritually or drain you. Too often we abuse this powerful force and let it lead us down paths that leave us empty, but God knows the potential within this energy. It is meant for higher purposes like inspiration, spiritual growth, and creation. People believe that sexual energy is holy because it connects the physical world to the spiritual world. When used correctly, it can spark your creativity, fuel your passions, and lead you to a greater relationship with God. However, improper use can deplete your energy and halt your spiritual advancement. God doesn't want you to waste this wonderful gift. Instead, He wants you to honor it. Respect your sexual energy and use it to move toward your higher purpose. When you learn to do this, you reach a whole new level of spiritual clarity. Go beyond the physical realm and start to connect with the divine creative force that lives within you. This is the energy that can propel you toward your true purpose, so don't waste it. Instead, embrace it, honor it, and use it to fuel your spiritual awakening. Each day, you have a limited amount of energy. How you choose to use it determines the course of your life. Too often we let the world around us distract us and focus on things that don't matter. But God knows your potential, and He knows that you can direct your energy towards something much greater, your spiritual growth. When you focus your energy on practices that feed your soul, like soul meditation and prayer service, every moment you spend in line with your divine calling is a chance to build a better, more focused relationship with God. When you share your creativity, you connect with your higher self. Now is not the time for mindless activities or pursuits that don't lead anywhere. Your energy is sacred, and how you use it determines your fate. To waste it on things that don't help you is to hold yourself back and dim the divine light within you. Stop wasting your energy and start using it for spiritual growth. You will start to live a life with meaning, peace, and divine satisfaction. People don't always understand celibacy, especially in a world that values quick gratification and physical pleasure. But for a few, it's the way to live. God wants us to follow this holy road, not because it limits us, but because it helps us grow spiritually. When you choose to be celibate, you are not depriving yourself. Instead, you are focusing your energy on a higher goal, getting closer to God and completing your divine mission. That's why God respects your decision to stay away from the world's distractions. By being celibate, you make room for spiritual clarity, creativity, and connection to the divine. As you learn to control your desires, you gain a deeper understanding of your purpose and become more in tune with the calling God has placed on your life. Being celibate isn't about hiding who you are. It's about honoring your true essence and your connection to the divine. By walking this holy path, you'll find more peace and clarity, and your spiritual growth will speed up. Expect God to guide you toward your higher calling every step of the way. People often only see sexual energy on the surface. They see it as a way to get short-term pleasure or to satisfy a physical need. Sexual energy is a strong force that you should respect and use for a much better reason. God knows how powerful you are, and He wants you to use that power for creation, spiritual awakening, and happiness. Your divine mission. When you use your sexual energy on purpose, you connect with God's creation. This energy can fuel your imagination if you use it right. Give your spiritual routines more power and link you to your higher self. It's a gift, not a curse, and when you honor it, you raise yourself and bring more light into the world. Stop seeing your sexual energy as something you should drain for short-term pleasure, and instead see it as a divine force that can fuel your purpose. When you align your energy with your higher calling, you will live a life of fulfillment, joy, and divine creativity. Chosen one, God sees your heart, your struggles, and your wants. However, He also understands your destined purpose. Stop wasting your precious energy on things that take you away from your real purpose and give you short-term pleasures. Now is the time to change your focus. Embrace your divine calling and lead the life that destiny intended for you. The world needs the light that only you can bring. God already knows what you're capable of. Now it's your turn to see it too, chosen one. It's not about repressing your desires. It's about learning how to use them to make your life better. If you don't control your strong desires, they can take you off track from your true path. But if you choose to consciously redirect these desires, you can reach a level of spiritual growth you may not have imagined. God knows what's inside you and how to help you reach unimaginable potential through redirection. When you stop letting your impulses run your life, you need to be disciplined, aware, and have a deep understanding of your higher purpose in order to change your desires. When you sing, you start to see the world through a spiritual lens. Instead of chasing after fleeting pleasures, you start to look for experiences that feed your spirit and help you grow. This shift in focus will bring you closer to God and, in turn, closer to your divine calling. As you refocus your desires on higher pursuits, you will experience more creativity, clarity, and inner peace. Stepping into this higher vibration transforms the world around you. Your life will reflect the divine energy you've chosen to channel, and your growth will not only be personal, but also cosmic, as you connect yourself with the flow of creation that affects everything. God knows He's been waiting for you to understand this truth. Changing your wants is the key to spiritual growth that you can't even imagine. Some people find discipline hard, but for those who are called, it is the holy key to their higher calling. It's not an act of punishment, but of purpose. And God knows you have the strength to develop discipline. Discipline gives you structure and direction. You need discipline on your spiritual path. Making sure that every action you take is in line with your divine mission. Every time you choose to be disciplined, whether it's by controlling your wants, mastering your mind, or setting aside time for spiritual practices, you increase your link to the divine. You will see your way better if you are more focused. God does not want you to wander aimlessly. He wants you to move forward with intention and purpose. To do that, you need discipline. When you develop divine discipline, you change your whole life. You stop reacting to the world around you and start making your own reality with God's help. Your thoughts, actions, and energy become aligned, and you start living the life that was meant for you. Discipline is not a limitation. It is the freedom that comes with living in line with your true calling. God knows what you're capable of. Now it's up to you to prove it to yourself. There is a spiritual secret that many people miss, but it is essential to having a meaningful life. Change the form of energy. Whether it's sexual energy, anger, or fear, this is the art of changing that energy into something powerful and divine. When you learn how to do this, you can access your real power. God knows that you are empowered to turn any challenge into a spiritual growth opportunity. Imagine using your problems as fuel to move forward. That's the power of transmutation. When you learn how to shift your energy, you stop reacting to your life and start creating it on purpose. You stop letting negative emotions like fear or anger control you, and instead use that energy to create creativity, love, and spiritual clarity. You don't have to be a victim of your feelings or situations, because God gave you the power to change energy. If you master this skill, you can transform any energy into a positive force. It's your spiritual talent. Picked. If you give in to temptation, your life will change in ways you never thought possible. But temptation is strong, and it's easy to get off track on your spiritual path, whether it's the urge to engage in physical pleasures, negative thoughts, or other distractions. You can easily lose sight of your higher calling, but God knows you have the strength to stay on your path and resist temptation. Temptation is not something to fear, it's something to overcome. Every time you resist temptation, you get stronger. It's not about perfection, it's about progress. Every time you choose to walk in alignment with your divine purpose, you take a step toward a more fulfilled and purposeful life. God has given you everything you need to succeed. All you have to do is trust in His guidance and your ability to stay on track. Even though temptation is always there, it doesn't have to control you. You can rise above it and keep your eyes on the future. By exercising self-control, aligning yourself with your higher purpose, and ignoring the things that try to take your attention away, you will feel closer to God, more peaceful and fulfilled. One of the most important skills you can learn on your spiritual path is self-control. God knows that learning self-control is the key to spiritual awakening. Without it, your wants and needs can pull you in many directions, leaving you lost and disconnected from your true purpose. But when you learn self-control, you take back your power and align yourself with God's will. Self-control doesn't mean denying yourself fun or freedom. It means realizing that your true power comes from within. When you control your urges, you can make decisions that are in line with your higher selves. Spiritual awakening begins when you realize you are a divine being with a purpose, not just your body's wants or emotions. God knows you can do much and will awaken to your divine mission if you control yourself. There is a strong force called desire that can either lead you to greatness or away from what you're supposed to be doing. When you practice self-control, you get closer to your higher self, and your life starts to reflect the clarity and wisdom you've gained. God understands that your wants aren't always bad. They're part of what it means to be human. But when your wants aren't in line with your higher calling, they can lead you down roads that don't serve your true purpose. Mastering your desires is the key to aligning your energy with God's plan for your life. When you learn to master your desires, you stop living from a place of impulse and begin living from a place of intention. You understand that every desire is a reflection of a deeper longing for fulfillment, love and connection. By aligning your desires with God's plan, you begin to live a life that is rich with meaning and spiritual depth. For God to use your desires to fulfill your purpose, you must learn to control them and align them with the highest good. When you do this, your energy becomes a force of divine creation, propelling you toward the fulfillment of your true calling. When you learn to redirect your energy, you tap into a transformative power that can change every aspect of your life. Your power to create, heal, and inspire can only be unlocked by using your energy wisely, which God knows. Redirecting your energy means choosing to focus on what truly matters: your spiritual growth, your purpose, and your connection to the divine. When you redirect your energy toward your higher calling, everything begins to shift. You experience greater clarity, more creativity, and a deeper sense of peace. What initially appeared as challenges transformed into opportunities for learning and personal development, and the obstacles you encountered transformed into milestones leading to your ultimate objective. God has given you the power to change your life, so it's time to start using it. When you choose to refocus your energy, you unlock a life brimming with divine potential. Watch as your life transforms before your eyes, transforming the energy you once squandered on fleeting distractions into a source of spiritual awakening and fulfillment. In the moment, pleasures may seem appealing, but they can't give you the lasting peace and happiness you want. God knows that your true purpose is much greater than the world's temporary pleasures. The things that distracted you aren't fulfilling your soul and are preventing you from living your best life. It's time to stop chasing after things that leave you empty and focus on your higher calling. By doing this, you will discover an unshakable source of joy and peace. God's plan for you is much more beautiful than anything temporary pleasures can give you. Accept your divine mission, and everything else will fall into place. When you choose to go in the direction of your true path, you feel a greater sense of purpose and happiness that lasts a lifetime. God knows what's best for you, so trust in His plan. He also knows your potential and has given you everything you need to fulfill your divine purpose. But in order to do your job, you need to focus your energy on the things that really matter. Now is the time to stop wasting energy and start living a life that is in line with God's plan for you. The world needs your light, and your unique gifts and talents are waiting to be shared, but they can only come to life when you choose to focus your energy on your higher calling. God wants you to answer the call and become the greatness He always recognized. Trust in your divine potential, shift your energy, and watch as your life changes. You can do more than you ever thought possible. Now is the time to live out your purpose. Are you ready to step up, only God knows what you can do. I hope to inspire and encourage the listener to take action and connect their life with their higher calling. Picked, you know in your heart that life is more than what you see outside of it. You can't ignore God's divine calling, but you've been avoiding, running from, or not realizing it for too long. It's time to acknowledge the reality. Your purpose is waiting for you, and you are more than prepared to embrace it. Ignoring your divine calling might make you feel better in the short term, but it won't bring you fulfillment. The longer you put it off, the more restless your soul becomes. This is God's way of telling you that you are meant for something bigger. Your calling was planned from the start. God is already aware of your potential and is eagerly awaiting your response when you discover your genuine purpose. When the universe aligns in unimaginable ways, everything begins to make sense. As the pieces of your life start to fall into place, relationships, chances, and experiences that seemed random at first will now feel like they were meant to be. A divine mission has chosen you to fulfill. Stop putting off your purpose. The time has come. You have everything you need to succeed, and God is waiting for you to manifest your greatness. It's time to stop running and start walking boldly toward your destiny. The moment you decide to stop, your spiritual awakening begins. Starts after a long time of being stuck in a cycle of distractions while running on autopilot. There are temptations and false claims of happiness, but God knows that the only way to truly awaken is to stop looking for approval from others and look inside yourself. Stopping doesn't mean not doing anything. It means consciously pausing to think about something. Stopping gives you time to listen. The whispers of your soul and God's guidance have always been there for you to listen to in quiet moments. It is in the silence that your true self starts to emerge. The distractions that used to control you lose their hold, and you start to remember who you really are. During this pause, you start to see the world differently. The noise of society and the pressure to fit in fade away, and you reconnect with your higher calling. You no longer feel the need to rush or try to please other people. You realize your path is unique, and stillness gives you clarity to move forward. God knows what your soul is longing for, and He knows that your awakening is already in motion. Fear has been your constant companion for too long, whether it's fear of failing, fear of being rejected, or fear of the unknown. It has kept you from stepping into your true power. But God knows that fear isn't stronger than the divine strength within you. God didn't create you to dwell in fear, but to overcome it. Fear often acts like protection, making you think it's keeping you safe. But when you let fear control your choices, it keeps you from the full life God wants for you. When you run away from opportunities that could make you great, you limit your potential. But God has never told you to stay small. He has told you to rise. When you confront your fears directly, you liberate yourself from their hold. The power of God within you is greater than any fear that tries to stand in your way. With every step you take toward your fears, you strengthen your faith and become more in tune with your divine purpose. Fear will always be there, but it doesn't have as much power as it used to. God knows you can handle anything that comes your way. God created you to overcome fear, assert your truth, and craft a meaningful life. The moment you stop letting fear control you, you start to unlock your limitless potential in a world full of distractions. It's easy to lose sight of what's important, but it's chosen. One swing your way to spiritual changing your mindset is the first step to getting clear. The world will constantly attempt to divert your attention, but it is up to you to decide which direction to direct your energy towards. When you shift your focus, you start to see the truth of who you are and why you're here. You stop living for approval from other people and start living for the fulfillment of your soul's purpose. Your energy sharpens. aligning your actions with your divine calling. Based on your mission, you no longer feel lost or unsure of what to do. It's not always straightforward to change your focus. You have to be disciplined, self-aware, and ready to let go of distractions. But every time you do, you strengthen your relationship with God and your inner wisdom. True spiritual clarity comes when you stop paying attention to the noise of the world and start listening to the voice of God inside you. God knows that the clarity you're looking for is out there, and you can find it when you choose to focus on your higher mission. Focus on what really matters instead of what's bothering you, and watch as your life unfolds in line with God's plan. In a culture that prioritizes receiving approval from others, it's effortless to succumb to the temptation of seeking their approval. Though you may always be looking for praise, approval, or credit, God knows that His approval is all you need. According to the divine, approval from others is eternal, but approval from the world is temporary. When you seek approval from others, you give up your power and lose sight of your true worth. But when you stop seeking approval from the world, you reclaim your power and align with the truth that God has already deemed you worthy. Your worth is not based on what other people think of you, but on who you are in God's eyes. You don't have to earn or prove your worth. It's already yours. When you align with this truth, you stop seeking validation from outside sources and start living in the fullness of your divine purpose. Your confidence comes from within, not from the approval of others. God already knows who you are and what you can do. You don't need anyone else's permission to become great. His approval is enough to lead you there. Your past is your way forward. Too often, we let the mistakes, failures, and regrets of the past hold us back. We tell ourselves we're unworthy of God's mission because of what we've done or been through, but God knows your past is only a chapter. You are not your past. Every mistake and hard time you've been through has led you to this point. Your past has made you who you are, but it doesn't have to hold you back. Once you break free from the shackles of the past, you can begin to realize your full potential. Now that God has forgiven you, it's time for you to forgive yourself and move forward with a new sense of purpose. God has already rewritten your story. He sees you as whole, worthy, and able to achieve your purpose. Your holy mission. Let go of past shame, guilt, and limiting beliefs to make room for God's new opportunities. Your future is not based on where you've been, but on where you choose to go from here. It's time to stop living in the shadows of your past and step into the light of your divine calling. God has bigger plans for you. Trust in them and look forward to the future He has already chosen for you. God never intended for you to play small. From the moment you were born, God made you to be great. But you've held yourself back many times by settling for less than you deserve or keeping quiet when you should speak up. God knows you can do so much more than you've let yourself believe. Being small is a way to hurt yourself and avoid the power, purpose, and potential that you have within you. But God didn't make you small. He made you to shine brightly, make an impact, and fulfill a divine purpose that only you can fulfill. The world needs your unique gifts. It's time for you to accept your greatness, your light, and your knowledge. When you stop playing small, you become the whole person you were meant to be. You stop hiding your brilliance and start sharing your gifts with the world. You stop doubting your skills and start believing in the divine power inside you. Believe in your greatness and know that God has given you everything you need to live out your purpose. Stop shrinking and start embracing your greatness. Watch as your life changes as you step into your divine power. It's time to embrace the greater potential within you. It can feel like there is no end to the search for external fulfillment, whether it's material things, relationships, or position. People often believe that happiness lies elsewhere, but as the chosen one, God understands that you are sufficient. You don't need to look elsewhere for happiness. It's always been inside you. Things outside of you may make you feel good for a short time, but they will never fill the void you feel inside. The truth is that you are whole, but your worth is not. Your worth is not based on what you have or what other people think of you. It comes from being a child of God. Once you realize this, you stop seeking happiness in others and start enjoying the peace that comes from following your divine purpose. God has put everything you need to live a happy, fulfilling life inside you. The love, joy, and peace you seek are not in other people or things, but in your deep relationship with God. When you stop looking for acceptance and validation from other people, you start to grow the peace and happiness that can never be taken away. You are enough. God recognizes your worth, and it's time for you to do the same. When you stop looking for happiness in other people or things, you will find deep peace inside. Far too often, we settle for less than we deserve because we are afraid, insecure, or think we aren't worthy of more. But, chosen one, God knows you deserve the fullness of life. Your divine inheritance is ready for you, but you have to stop settling for less than great and start claiming what is truly yours. When you settle for less, you're telling yourself that you don't deserve the joy, peace, and abundance that God has already given you. However, the reality is that God created you for greater things. God created you to fully embrace life, filled with love, purpose, and joy. God has already planned a life full of plenty for you. Your divine inheritance is waiting for you. But you need to stop settling for less than what you can achieve. This doesn't mean perfection. It means getting in touch with your higher self, stepping into your purpose, and accepting all that God has planned for you. It's time to stop settling. Take a step into your divine inheritance and take the life of plenty that is already yours. As a chosen one, the biggest thing standing in the way of your destiny is putting things off. The urge to wait for the perfect time or the right conditions can keep you stuck for years. But God knows that the power is in the present. The time to act is now, not tomorrow or next week. Many times we put things off because we think we're not ready or need more information, but God has given you everything you need to move forward. The moment you act, the universe starts to align in your favor. God knows you have everything you need to move forward. When you cease delaying, you liberate yourself from the shackles of fear and doubt. As you align with divine timing, opportunities begin to present themselves. The world begins to shift, and you come to understand that you don't need to wait for the ideal time. You can bring about change by taking action. Stop waiting. The moment is now. Take the first step and watch as everything else falls into place.